I don't think things happen to you. I think they happen for you. And if you're not in a place where you want to be, if you're fat, you're unhappy, you're broke, whatever these things are, nothing changes if nothing changes. And it's easier said than done, but there's a really simple way of overcoming this, right? For everybody, you're going to have these trials, these tribulations, and I want you to understand there's really three things that there's way more than three things that I could sit here and tell you about, but there's three that I think are pivotal in order to help you get out of this rut or this uncomfortable feeling zone that you're in right now. And before I jump into those, I want to kind of explain to you guys where this comes from, right? Like there's really, for everybody, you have these goals that you want and you have these aspirations, not just me, not just you, but your parents, your friends, your family. Everybody has these aspirations of things that they want in their lives. And there's three things that hold them back the most from it. And they're all fleshly desires, okay? Within fleshly desires, there's number one is going to be gluttony. This is why people are fat. You overindulge in eating. You think, oh, I'm so hungry right now, I need to hurry and eat right now. Bang, bang, I need to eat. And you're so focused on eating that you forget about everything else. Even if you were just so deeply involved in work and so focused, the minute you get hungry, you don't ignore it for half a second and continue to, thought that was a bug, to push yourself to say no to that thing, right? Or that food, that overindulgence. Number two is lust. So many people are on Hinge, Tinder, trying to get it in a quick, and they're so involved in that, spending hours and hours a day. And even when they're focusing on the things that they want to be focusing on in order to live a life that's worth living, they're still thinking about that and they're distracted. And they can't say no to it because they fall into this vicious cycle that pulls them in. It's like a current and a riptide just pulls them out into the ocean and says, no, you're not going on to your goals because our body needs to focus on this thing. And the third thing is social status. You care about what you think other people are going to think about you. What you think they will think about you. Does that make sense? Not what you are going to think, not what they think about you, but what you think they're going to think. That's delusion. That is delusion. And within these three things, these are the main things that are going to consume your mind and your focus throughout the entirety of the day. And if you're not able to focus on these and control them and pull your mind into a state where you're able to grab energy and just pull it out of thin air and push yourself towards living a life that's worth living, and I beg you to live a life that's worth living, because you want to go down this path of the things that you want to do in life. You know that you have more potential inside of yourself. You believe it. And maybe you don't believe it to the full extent. Maybe you could see a couple flashes here and there. And you don't believe it yet because you have all of these limiting beliefs that have been brought up from you in the past, because you've continuously taken action on these negative things, right? These fleshly desires. And I think that the first step in order for you to go out and live a life that's worth living is you have to sit here and ask yourself, what is it that I actually want out of my life? What makes me the happiest? What do I enjoy? And if you were to grab a piece of paper and sit down, within 20 seconds, write down, what are the things that give me the most fulfillment in life? Or what is my life's most major purpose right now? 20 seconds, boom, write it down. It can be money, happiness, good wealth, whatever that thing is. Write it down, bang, write down 10 of them if you can in 60 seconds. And then you circle the top three. Now you have three things that you're working towards. It's off of your impulse. It's off of the tongue. It's off the top of your brain. That's where your mind is naturally being drawn into, because you know what you want. You don't have to sit there and overthink it. The second thing that I want to talk about is overthinking and impulsivity. In order for you to break free of these things, right? You have the characteristics that it takes in order for you to go out and hit your goals. You have what it takes in order for you to stop doing the things that you want to do. Because there's decisions and there's choices. A decision is something that you choose about your choices, right? It's something that is set in stone and you're not changing it, and you've made up your mind. You decide to say no to alcohol. You decide to get up and go on your walk every morning. You decide to go to the gym every morning. It's a commitment. It's a covenant. It stays there regardless. You don't choose. It's a decision. You already, that's who you are, part of your identity. And there's choices, right? I'm choosing not to go to the gym today. I'm choosing to vape and I can quit whenever I want. Really? Really? I want to hear you make a decision about stopping vaping then. I want you to decide to stop vaping for a week and see if you can do it. And if you don't finish that week and you say, yeah, like I didn't think it would really add me any value. Like I can stop whenever I want. Why would I like do that? Okay, buddy. Okay. Same thing with all the food, the lust, and the social status, right? If you decide to put those things away and you put them away in the back burner for a week and you just focus on the goals that you want for a week, let me know what the difference is, because I guarantee you'll feel it. Your focus is going to be much more clear and you're going to be able to have these covenants within yourself where you know in trust, belief, faith, right? You know you have trust in yourself because you continuously do the things that you said. You said you're going to stop going after the things that you want for a week. And then you start to do that long enough, you start to build this belief. People start to say, wow, you really changed. Like, you're this type of person that goes after their goals. And then now you start to cultivate this belief inside of you. And you're wow, I really am this type of person. When you are, you've had it inside of you this whole time. And now when you start to believe it and you continuously do it, you have faith. This is where the utmost confidence comes from, is you have this faith inside of yourself that no one can stop you. You're a force to be reckoned with. Your goals are so much closer than you think. And the only reason that you haven't attained them yet is because you have these stories that you tell yourself. These negative stories that bring no value to you, right? There's instant small little moments where you're telling yourself this story. Oh, what if it doesn't work? What if this person rejects me? What if I get posted on a TikTok? What if it goes good? What if you make more money than you've ever made? What if you get bigger than you've ever been before and you get jacked? What if you make more friends than you've ever made before? What if you feel happier than you ever have been in the past? And this is the third thing, is you have these small little interactions with yourself where you get to pick the story that you tell yourself. The story you tell yourself is the story you believe. And if you continuously tell yourself a negative story, this is how you end up in a very, very seriously bad, damaging, self-hurting, like, story within yourself, conversation. And you won't do the things that you want to do, is because you tell yourself all of the negative things first. But if you flipped it and you took notice, oh, I'm telling myself a negative story, and you flip it and you tell yourself something positive, or you just switch into gratitude and you don't let your thoughts sink into this random drifting where they go and think all these random negative thoughts because you're not forcing your mind to think something, then you're going to lose. But you can change this. And I might have just lost you there, but just to kind of reiterate, I'm not going to cut this, but if you focus on gratitude and you can control where your thoughts are going, right? By being grateful for things and you're seeing them in a positive light, your mind is naturally going to find the good in all of these things. If you live in a nice house, if it's nice to somebody else, right? Let's say you live in one of these like mansions all the way over there on the hill, and you live there, it's a box. I don't like the carpet. I don't like the ceilings, how low they are. I don't like how the windows are just a little bit too short. And you find all of these negative things. Even if you move to a new house, you're still gonna find all of the negative shit, because it's not the house and it's bad. It's your fucking perception. And your perception is reality. At the end of the day, I want you guys to picture this like this. If you live in a city right now that you don't really like, and you think I should move cities, this city sucks. I want to go move somewhere where people are more social. I wish there was more stuff to do here, and there was, more people that were just like me. If you move cities, I promise you will find that exact same thing in that next city that you move into. And if you do it over and over and over again, you're going to continuously tell yourself this story of it's the city, it's the place. And you never take a quick second to look into the mirror and tell yourself, is it the cities or is it me? Because the story you tell yourself is the story that you're going to believe. So if you believe it's the city, it's going to be the city every time. But the minute that you flip it and it becomes you, you're going to be able to go out and find so much more joy because you know that you are responsible for everything that happens in your life. You go out in the city and you're like, okay, I'm going to go find new friends today. I'm going to go for a walk today and I'm going to go enjoy the little things out here. And you can change these little perspectives, right? Things don't happen to you, they happen for you. If you have roommates and they're constantly leaving all the dishes in the sink, you can sit there and bitch and moan and be mad and complain to your parents and just get so frustrated and so involved into that pendulum that you're staring at and watching it and just getting infuriated because you're getting hypnotized by it. Or you can break free and be like, you know what? I'm glad that they don't do their dishes because it gives me 10 minutes to sit here and listen to a book and level myself up to become a better version of me so that when I do go out into the world, I can live a life that's even more worth living because now I have more context on how I can become a better version of myself. What's more powerful? What one is going to benefit you more? If you can pick the story that you tell yourself, why are you going to tell yourself the story that does nobody any good? When you were a child, if you were mad at your parents and they made you dinner and they said, hey, buddy, the food's ready, come down and eat. And you're pissed and you're like, nah, F them, I'm not going to eat. Like, I'm just going to sit in here and I'm going to be mad. And you're starting to get hungry and you're starving and your stomach hurts. And you're like, oh my goodness. They're the reason that I'm not eating. It's their fault. That's why I'm hungry. That's why I'm starving. That's why I haven't eaten anything. Who is the idiot there? Is it their fault that you don't want the things that you want for yourself and you can't get yourself to go do them regardless of what other people tell you or how they're making you feel? You're the one that's sitting there bitching and moaning that you don't have what you want because you're not taking action to get that thing. You could go and eat and say, whatever, I don't care if they were mad at me and that they pissed me off. I'm going to go and eat because I'm actually going to feel better and I'm going to do my thing regardless. If you have a parking spot in a parking space, if you have a parking spot at your apartment and you share it with two other people, first come, first serve, and somebody beats you to it, why are you going to be mad that they parked there when you can be grateful, right? You can be mad that they took the parking spot, or you can flip it and you can say, wow, I'm grateful now I get to go park in the neighborhood and go for a little walk and enjoy some nature and be at peace with my thoughts for like 5 minutes. Which one is more powerful? Which one do you think would lead you to closer to happiness? Which one do you think would lead you closer to a life that's worth living? If you see the good in everything, you're only going to see more good. If you see the bad in everything, you're only going to see worse. And it's going to follow you everywhere that you go in life. The only person that can change anything is you. And nothing changes if nothing changes.